Alright, hello everyone. Today I'm going to snipe the level 7 of the daily challenge. I'm going to try and focus on using good intuition and good game sense. Um, Maybe not so much as a focus on mission counting and see where it gets me, but hopefully this can be of some instructive value. So our first game is going to be OP versus Screwloose, and it's on a standard ballroom setup, so it shouldn't be too anything crazy, but it is OP rights, so we'll probably get some nice mission progress. So here we go. Let's start. All right, so statues are memorized at the back. All right, just low lighting all the DAs. Our first Purloin offer is to Wheels. No time at it, it looks like, which is good. So sorry, it goes to center inspects, and Rocker goes next to her. So maybe I'll keep that in mind for later. Okay, just making sure that Irish didn't bug there. I don't really know anything about the book that Bling Twin had. I don't know if I wasn't really watching his transfer at all, so, or if he was transferring, I wasn't watching it. So I'm not sure if that was a bug from Duke, but we can have a really, we'll just highlight him just to make sure he's still on our radar. Okay, Wheels goes to center inspect as well. Sorry goes back to center inspects, but I think she does a little slide, which kind of makes me not really suspect her as much. Okay, Duke is still inspecting the statue, so we kind of have a nice, easy game plan ahead of us. All we really need to do is just wait for Duke to contact, and then he's just going to be the spy. I can honestly just shoot Duke right now because I saw the bug, but we'll just wait. I get a little like sorry for that slide earlier. But when you have someone like this active and who you think is doing this many missions, you just kind of got to watch them to make sure like if what they're doing is actually spy-like. Because if they just sat here in the conversation for another minute, I wouldn't really be as suspicious of them, but Duke's activity
Banana
alone,
bread.
yeah. I feel like even if you didn't see the bug and you're just watching statues, I feel like center inspects already is going to put you at a high priority target to watch. Now granted, Sorry was low lit because I was able to get a nice pathing low light onto her, but um, if she wasn't low light, then Duke would have been Duke and her would have been tied for maybe a little bit of suspicion because they didn't really have anything else in the party. Well, here's the bug. It's a pretty good bug, honestly. What's nice about this bug is that like it was only visible for like that 1 second, but it's also like who is going to take this bug here? And even when you like look after like the bug animation's done, you can kind of see that the arm doesn't have any reset. So the only way you would have been able to see that bug is if you were watching the ambassador. And we had a sort of neutral angle, and so we were kind of watching the ambassador the whole time. We were on that side of the party. So as you can see, yeah, that's what I saw right there. I saw that little beginning. And then I didn't see the reset. There is a tiny little reset available, but you can just kind of see like, okay, like maybe that's a bug. But at most, I mean that you could definitely strongly credit that bug if you think you saw it. And then yeah, the intuition part of that was going to be that Duke is probably going to go to center inspects. Typically, like if a spy thinks they've gotten away with a mission, they're not going to try and do another hardtail. So like, why would the spy go in Purloin when they can simply just go to inspects? So it kind of makes their like decision making easier to see. And I mean, this is just a classic, this is just a classic plan to this 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 is basically just classically reading a plan. So, oh, I get away with a bug, I have decent flirt progress. I'm just gonna go inspect. It's 2 minutes left in the game. There's so much time left. Like no one could be finishing right now if they saw this, if they didn't see this bug. And so yeah, we get this eventually. He banana breads and gets the flirt off at the very end. So. Looks like we were maybe a little bit suspicious, but I'm assuming we didn't have the bug, which makes sense. So, all right, so we have Rov. Uh, Rov is sort of a slower spy, but um, typically I don't really snipe the dailies based off of if like what their spy style is. But I could definitely believe games like this. So like this will be a good game to see like if he is playing a slow game. Like you'll kind of get the sense in the party that there's no progress, and you can kind of watch other things like in the party, like just knowing that. Um, because like here's the thing, you have two sort of games where like if someone's active the entire time, you're watching them very closely to see what they're doing and if like their behavior seems spy-like. And then if someone isn't doing anything, then you can kind of like suspect that like later in the game, you're gonna get some burst of activity, and so like you're gonna be able to watch for what you did in the early game, like in the late game, and you can kind of read when something is a spy-like or not. So, but anyway, let's just get into it. We have gallery 4 of 8 here, standard setup for 4 minutes, 21 guests. Let's go. So we have two head statues, and then we have HB, so a Hydra Puff for me. Just my little mnemonic. I zoom out for the time ad there. Now I'm just watching Bucks and Ambassador because I can watch them both easily at the same time. It's also very important to notice Ambassador's first stopping place, which was that conversation, so I want to see who gets the first print. Okay, so Duke gets the first print. I'm watching Kane's bug. I'm watching White Dress maybe bug. Okay, we're good. Okay, Irish slides, so that's a low light. I'm not worried about AI control. Against like these harder opponents, I don't mind taking some pathing lowlights, especially in the dailies, because chances are no one's going to be AI controlling in the dailies. So there's still a difficult print on the briefcase, and now I'm kind of watching blue books, double checking that no swap's gone off, still watching a little bit of bug, and I see that Taft now has a difficult print, so I'll keep that in mind. And now you kind of want to be watching Duke and Taft to see like what they're kind of up to. And Duke just kind of goes into a safe conversation, and Taft also just is probably going to go into either books or a safe conversation here. Yeah, goes into books, but I think he slid, so we get kind of low like that. General might have had a bug there, I wasn't sure. So I'm gonna low like this. Yeah, there's no slide on that pad either, and this is General's first inspect, so I'm gonna watch Perlin to make sure nothing's going off. Kane, I think, goes back to the left side on the books. So right now we're halfway through, and my overall sense of the party is that like while there is like a couple people who could have stuff, General I think maybe has a bug. There's no Perlin that's gone off. Duke isn't really doing anything, so Duke would have to like do a bunch of stuff later on, which I'm not really worried about. The only mission progress that Kane has is that book. White Dress could also maybe have something. Okay, this could be a swap from General. He's also going into a conversation with a yellow with a yellow circle, so or yellow triangle. So I'm gonna watch the swap maybe. He doesn't swap it. I'm not sure if that was Rocker's second inspect or not, but I'm gonna assume that it was maybe wasn't. And I do want to watch this sort of swap maybe from Rocker. Okay, no swap goes off. Red dress rejects into Rocker. Now General's really not doing anything, and Duke only has like the one print, so I'm not really sus of him at all. Um, the way that like the conversations are forming, I get the sense that we're probably just waiting for a BB mainly. Okay, and now Buns, it looks like General just got called to that statue. Yeah, this is a classic Rov play, I think. Okay, so this was not an easy shot, but let me explain it. So here's the thing. Buns and after I see this swap, I know now that it's down to a 50-50 between Buns and General. So automatically, everyone in the party is automatically discarded. And when you see this swap, you kind of got to be going through your mind of every single person or of everything single thing that they could have done and what like they could have done. So here's the thing. General, if I credit him for the bug, and most of the time you credit people for seduce, he's finishing up his last inspect and he gets a swap, and that's 4 missions. So General could be done after this mission, so you have to shoot it. Um, but then he also did something that was like not spy like, which was that like he kind of faked a redirect and acted like he was the AI getting called to a statue. But luckily, I have actually had this done to me by Rob, uh, so I was kind of like ready to shoot this right away. Actually, in my SMC finals game, he did this to me as Seek, and it was down to a 50-50 yet again between Teal and Seek. But um, sort of like at this point in the game right now, I was also watching Buns a little bit. So Buns is next to the ambassador, and and Rob is a really good player and a really good spy, and I think he would use this opportunity to bug. And it's weird that I didn't see any bugs go off because it's very interesting. Like if you think the sniper's attention is on that statue, you could just bug, but maybe he doesn't feel comfortable doing it against this particular sniper. I don't know. So, so this was a pretty like standard shot because Buns just didn't really seem like the spy in general's finishing missions. And even if you're wrong here, like it's not really the incorrect shot to take. I mean, general does have more missions, and here was the bug that we saw, by the way. I actually saw the little arm snap back after like the ambassador kind of walked away from him a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see that little arm snap back. But either way, like it's not you can't like easily see it, so it's just kind of a credit. So yeah, that's that shot. Also, one more thing I also wanted to point out that he kind of waited. Like you are never gonna see the fade for this because Rov is not gonna swap with the fade. That's also another spy-like thing where like you're blocking the statue as the spy, and so Rov typically likes to swap right at the end of the cycle, so where it's like hidden behind General's body. And so that's another spy-like thing to do because spies typically like to either swap like really like right early on in the first cycle, or they like to do it at the very end. And that can be a nice clue that it's the spy. But here the biggest clue was just that there was 4 missions that I had him credited for, so the shot wasn't like that much of a like, oh gosh, how do I take this shot? And the strength in that spy game also lies in the fact that it was going to be a silent game, and typically like you're conditioned to wait for a BB and shoot for a banana bread, but um, there's obviously going to be none in that game, so that's how I also knew like, and a strong spy knows that, so a strong spy is definitely going to like try and get that mission off when he can, or get the silent game off when he can. Not the mission. I was thinking of swap, but he's definitely gonna try and get that like easy 4 missions without banana bread because it's just much less suspicious. And if he can get away with it, no sniper is shooting that unless they're like majorly suspicious. Like if I didn't have that bug, I probably am not watching the statue as hard. Maybe after I see the redirect, I'll watch it. But at that case, like I'd only have 3 missions for each person at the most. So yeah, because Buns didn't have any prints, or I don't think she had micro or anything like that. So at most I had 2. I don't even think she had inspecs either. So Buns only had 2 missions there, and General had 4. So I had to shoot it. But now we're on the reverse because now we have Banana Bread versus Rov, and we have 3 of 7 terrorists, 12 gas, 3 minutes. So pretty standard. I like to. This is the only venue I think in the game where I actually like to highlight for the bar instead of statues. But if statues are busy early on, I like to highlight those. So let's see. So we got AB, we got AB and HB, so Dove and Puff. I don't really understand General's pathing there, but it looks pretty AI-like. Okay, so plane twin at 45. Remember, a delegate lasts for 1 minute, so when I say 45, that's when his delegate expires. Is at 145, but I just memorize the number. So yeah, 30, and it takes about 10 seconds typically, so the max delegates at one time are typically like 6. Okay, so here we go. We have Kane. Oops. We have Kane with a fingerprint, and we have Smallman with a fingerprint. Let's watch Kane's putback. Maybe a little fast. Kane's putback may be a little fast. And now we're kind of watching our highlights. Okay, Smallman. And remember, 45, 145. That's so Plane Twins delegate has expired. So if the Purling gets taken, it's not him. And Sarius is also expired because she can't really send anyone now. So we have Taft and Seek going to statues. So Seek actually has a difficult print there, interestingly enough. So he's probably someone to watch. I'm assuming. Okay, that was a nice stop from Taft. Okay,
Give me in the red.
general rejects. Okay, this is not a good BB at all because it just knocked out everything that we had to watch. I'm watching Red Dress's bug here. Yep. Okay, how do I know to watch for this? Well, at this point, this is sort of like one of those intuition moments I was talking about at the beginning of Gallery, where like if you have a spy who has no progress, and by no progress I mean like no like third mission, right? We assume they have contact and seduce. If you have a spy that has no progress, they're going to need to find something in this last minute, and that can be proved and that can prove to be tricky because Smallman was the only one who even had the potential to do anything, and his delegate was probably running out. Interestingly enough, here before that bug, actually Smallman's going for a briefcase, and yeah, Rob was right to highlight this because this would have been Smallman finishing up his fingerprint. I didn't have to get to that. I didn't have to even cross that moral dilemma because I just saw the bug, but and honestly, it was a pretty good bug. Rob's angle was for once not that good to see this bug. Like you can see it, but it's not the great angle. And the reason why I angled over here because I wanted to watch Red Dress's hands in case it was like a reverse drive-by bug where like she started the bug while Amba was pathing towards her. So I didn't want to just let that. I didn't want to give it up. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna watch the hands. And then yeah, I watch a bug because when you have this little time, the spy has to do something. And at this point in the game, right now, I would have said, okay, small one has fingerprints, and then I would have been questioning myself if I have to shoot him or not. But you got to make sure all your boxes are checked, and you want to make sure you're watching everything at once. Because if you're sitting there watching Smallman and sitting there staring at him for 10 seconds with the moral dilemma, like, oh my gosh, do I shoot? Do I not shoot? Well, you're already going to miss something, and this kind of proves that. So you want to make sure not to tunnel, and just keep aware of the whole party because it could get you another shot. And Rob is a really, really, really good sniper, probably the best the game has seen. And even he can miss something like that through tunnel vision. I'm assuming maybe he was looking at Delegate or looking at Smallman and thinking about shooting, whatever have you. But that was actually a pretty decent game anyway. So the bug time was great. I mean, I don't think Banana Bread even really left conversation to have to flirt. So he really didn't even move that entire game. And for someone like us, for someone like me or like Rob who like, wants to take in all this information, that was minimizing nice information. Now, while he did take a really bad banana bread, um, ironic that his name is Banana Bread, so you have to do it, but um, yeah, that banana bread was just not the greatest. It knocked out three suspects that I had, so um, banana breading too early is a common mistake. Typically, you want to banana bread early, like if you get away with something, but not if you don't still need to do stuff, because then the sniper has less to watch. Okay, so now that's 3-0 so far, so we're under our fourth game. It's high rise 3 of 5. This is the old setup. Yeesh versus Sour Milk, so this is probably a pretty old game, because those two aren't really active that much right now. We have Bug, Contact, Seduce, so Contact and Seduce, and then our three missions that we need to really watch are Fingerprint, Microfilm, and Bug. Mainly Bug. I mainly want to watch Bug, but Pathing is going to be coming in. Pathing is going to be really helpful here. Um, and behavioralism is going to be really useful because there's only 10 guests. So we actually can watch Flirt here, but we still have to make sure we're on top of like Bug and Fingerprint and all that. We gotta make sure we're getting good angles on the ambassador. And microphone's not that much of an issue. I'm just probably gonna highlight books. I might just highlight for like the back bookcase this game, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the party shakes out. So let's go. Amba starts all the way out on the right side, and it's Red Dress. And at this point in time, the only person who could even have a bug is Irish. So I'm watching Wheels' hands. I'm mainly watching Wheels right now just to see if he's gonna do a standing bug. But Irish, I think, is the only person who even could have a bug. And she goes next to Sorry, so her first talk's at 302. I need to re-angle to see Wheels. Her first talk is at 302, so this could be her. That didn't look like a great path, actually. It looked like she just twitched also,
Give me
by
in
the
the
way.
red.
Okay, I think it's Irish right off the bat, but we can still wait for another talk because she doesn't have Flirt yet, so she's only talked one time in this entire game. and she finally just now finished her drink after a whole minute. And I'm assuming we're going next to Sari here, and we could just shoot her. Okay, well, I'm I'm very confused because her actions were that. Oh, she was AI controlled this whole time. Okay, so yeah, I don't understand this at all. I'm having trouble understanding the whole game plan here because, I mean, Irish was just so obvious as a spy. I mean, granted, I obviously don't know if she's an AI control or not, but it seems weird to stay in AI control at that point, especially with you have the only bug credit in the entire game here. And granted, maybe you can't do a bug right there, but anyway, let's see. So yeah, so she flirts with Sari, which I kind of credit, which I did credit. I saw this little twitch, I didn't understand it. We still have a drink, and I knew that a bug couldn't have gone off here, but I already had her credited for one. I also didn't like the path in that conversation. Then we follow Sari into Green Bookcase. Okay, we actually microfilm as our last mission. But yeah, that was just a very weird game. I don't understand that game. Uh, I can't really say much on it. It just seemed like Irish was just so obviously the spy the entire time that I don't really have much to I don't really have much input. Yeah, that was a weird game, but because yeah, she just is very obviously following Sorry, so that's just seduce. I had to credit her with a bug, and then it was a white BB, and I saw that little twitch, so it just had to be her. Like there's no one else. Okay, so we have Redwoods, probably one of my least favorite venues. Like so I have a love-hate relationship. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. But anyway, so we have 4 of 8, 14 guests, 330. It's really important on Redwoods to actually watch early time ads and early bugs, but you can't really do both at the same time, so you just kind of have to hope to get an overall sense of the party when you spawn in, and you still want to memorize statues, but it's Rob versus Sauerkraut. Rob is a slower spy, so maybe we won't be that screwed, but I'm still gonna play as if I don't know who the player is, but um all right, so let's go. So Smallman right off the bat I don't think has a bug. It was a nice little bounce off of the Amba. We have BH and BB. So mask, nest, and then mask again. So mask, nest, mask. Okay, so we have Blink and Irish at 07. And remember, it's still important to watch the entire party. So Plane Twin, Plane Twin's a little weird. I'm gonna highlight that. I didn't like that path a lot. I didn't like the path. I don't like that weird briefcase stop. Very weird. Smallman takes a book. And Smallman, it's important to note that Smallman actually has inspects already now. But the dangerous thing is that maybe Smallman could have bugged at the beginning of the game, which I don't think he did, but he could have, which is a little scary to me. But why would you go to the statue again? It doesn't make sense. I'm kind of just watching bug here, but I need to swivel around because I can't see the right side. I think it's Plane Twin. Plane Twin seems a lot like a spy to me right now. It also is nice to note that the delegates have worn off, so I don't need to worry about that as much. Plane Twin watch checks. Obviously, I don't think the spy really needs a timeout here. Okay, Smallman is just going to every single statue, which is not suspicious to me, but like, you know, it is Rob, so. All right, Alice. It's pretty hard to play Redwood sometimes because so many people visit Inspect, so. But Blinktwin's still my number one sus by a mile. And actually, interestingly enough, I don't know if anyone's actually been to that red bookcase. So it's possible that like Plain Twin or oh wait, Plain Twin. Oh wait, no, yeah. Plain Twin, yeah, that's the one who has everything. So it is interesting that like Plain Twin could actually have like inspects and stuff. I'm watching for. Yeah, I get the overall sense that Plain Twin's the spy, but This is just a messy game, and I'm not playing it to my best. It's so hard to keep track of everything in Redwoods and talk at the same time. Um, but all right, Plane Twin. Okay, Plane Twin might bug here, honestly. I don't think it's Smallman, to be honest, but I'm expecting a BB here. Oh, yep, there we go. And it actually took too, so yeah, so okay, wait, yes, okay. So this was yeah, okay. Let me explain this. So I actually I don't think I really noticed the inspect because like I actually was thinking that Smallman was doing the same thing earlier when I saw him at red bookcases. So on Redwoods, so when you stand at the bookcase, you can inspect the statues on both sides, right? And a common thing for spies, a common cheese for spies, is that if they grab the briefcase and they can stand on the bookcase path at the same time, they can highlight them for statues, or they can inspect a statue real quickly and then move with the briefcase. Because they can move with the briefcase, and what this does is it basically is like, okay, I just have the briefcase, like I'm not inspecting, and it sort of lets them get off with a free inspect. And of course, as a sniper, you have to notice this. What I, as a sniper, didn't like was this weird like stop because like the Amba has a bunch of room behind him, and then he takes this weird looking path into window paths that just looks so spy-like. I maybe credit him for a flirt with Irish there, and I think he was with Irish again later on in the game, but it's not like I really noticed that. I just didn't. I hated that first briefcase that entire game, and I got him confused with Blink Twin, I think, at one point, but Plane Twin, yes, this is who I was suspicious of the entire game. That briefcase was way too weird. I think that was just an etiquette break. And then yeah, we go back to red. We go back to red books, and I credit him for inspects here. And obviously, Seduce comes pre-checked, and so I actually thought that he was finishing missions here. I don't know why I credit him for inspects. I think I just thought to myself, oh, like he could have inspected somewhere else, but yeah, here's his last inspect of the game, by the way. But yeah, I saw the bug, so I was guarding the bug because I was like, Plainton's my top sus. It's possible that Rob wants a silent game. He's gonna bug, and he did bug. So we got rewarded for tunneling on Plain Twin a little bit. The first briefing was just too weird that I was like 70% sure that he was the spy. And it's interesting too because Sauerkraut actually also noticed that we were gonna get that briefcase, but I think he thought we were going for the bookcase. But then when we saw he was going for like the briefcase, he low lit him or neutral lit him. So he didn't credit that inspect. It's weird that Rob went back to the same red bookcase to inspect, but I totally get it because I think there was a difficult print there. Or there was just a print, so no one else has been there the entire game, which makes sense. I did have that print too, by the way. So I had Plain Twin finishing prints. I had prints, I credited inspects, I obviously credit Seduce. And then I saw a bug, so I had 4 missions. So maybe the inspects wasn't correct, but I still have 3 missions and very heavy sus for his etiquette and behavior, so I didn't like it at all. Okay, so 5-0. We have three games left. It's going good. We have a ballroom game, NE4-7, 15 guests 330, standard game. Magic Duo versus Slappy Davis. Let's get into it. Watching for bugs. You always gotta watch for bugs early on. Irish slides, red dress and Duke are next to each other. I'm watching Salmon maybe for an early bug. I'm not checking statues because there's really not anyone there at the moment. Okay, so we have AAH. Okay, so now I'm watching for Purloin. I'm watching for reverse drive-by bug. Okay, nothing. Okay, Irish was at the left side bookcase. Keep that in the back of my mind. Okay, so the back is BAB. I didn't memorize it yet because I haven't really had to. Dude takes a weird wonky looking path. Okay, Plain Twin and Redress both reject. I'm watching Salmon and Tex here for the time being. I'm watching for reverse drive-by bugs now. I think Wheels is in bug range here, by the way. You have to angle correctly here. Okay, so Irish goes into a yellow conversation. Honestly, at the moment, unless I missed a bug, I don't have much progress. I mean, maybe I missed a briefcase or something. but okay. I mean, Wheels' etiquette for the briefcase is pretty good, so.
Banana bread.
All right, let's see. Okay. This game feels really messy right now, but I don't think Seek has been to a bookcase yet, so I'm not really that concerned about him. Redress takes a drink. Uh, so Tex. Hmm. I feel like if I lose this game, it's gonna be because I miss a bug. But Plain Twin's still my main sus right now. I don't know why. All right, here's the thing. I don't. Did I miss something from Seek? Because he's finishing inspects now. I don't know if I missed something, but I need to still watch the party. Okay, he takes a really good briefcase put down though, so I don't know. No way you could have bugged there. Yeah, this is a hard one. This one's not trivial. I actually don't know who the spy is at the moment. I think that's to Queen or C. No, it's a C. Never mind. Okay, a live briefcase. I don't have progress, so I need to keep watching stuff. There's no bug. Plain Twin is getting offered to. Plain Twin rejects. Oh wait, Queen. I don't think Queen's been on the left side yet. So Plain Twin rejects. I don't think anyone can even pick up the briefcase legally right now. There's no purloin. Yeah, what did I miss? Oh, so he had fingerprints. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. I didn't like this inspect. I really wanted to shoot for this inspect alone, but I just couldn't. I didn't have another mission. So let's see where the fingerprints were. So there was one at the blue bookcase, and the other one was on the left statue. So that makes sense. I really hated this inspect because like it just seems so spy-like. And he did have a contact too, right? Yeah. And in fact, I think he's the only contact circle besides Irish, but I don't think Irish would contact that. Yeah, that was a good game. I think I could have shot for that inspect because it was just way too suspicious. I think if I had even one of those prints, I just completely was not even on top of prints this entire game. But if I had one of those prints, I think I could have shot. But unfortunately, yeah, I wasn't on top of prints that game. Sorry. Okay, so we'll move on from that. One loss is okay. I don't mind if I win the rest. So SEL, okay, yeah, this is just another standard library setup. 445, 21 guess in any 5 of 8. So let's get going. Watching for bugs, obviously. What, HBB. Time ads are really common on library, so I try to watch those from the get-go. Okay, Buns is getting offered to. I don't know what the statue is that Duke's holding. We'll just assume it's the A statue. Okay, Teal has the first print of the game. Interestingly enough, Buns splits, so maybe she's purloining here. I don't know. I want to watch this. Nope, okay. Okay, Teal still has the briefcase. Okay, there's a printed yellow now. Okay, Alice picks up the briefcase with a difficult. Okay, Red Dress and Blink Twin are both from the blue bookcase. Salmon rejects. I'm just trying to stay on top of everything here. I'll try and my best not to have to focus too much, but Rocker has center inspect, so I have to keep track of that. Duke also now has inspect, so I have to keep track of that as well. Looks like a slide from Blink Twin. I might low like that. This should be a dead case, by the way. Third statue. Rocker goes back to yellow books. Text maybe could have bugged there. I don't know, though. That was weird from Red Dress. We don't even have briefcase. That was just bizarre. Yeah, she returns correctly, though.
Banana bread.
Okay. So everybody in the party basically has real BB. At this point, I'm just sort of watching who's getting offered to because there's really not much else to watch. There's no activity. The third and the sixth statue both have prints on them, by the way, right now. Teal I'm watching, that wasn't the greatest. That was a weird path by Teal. Never mind, that was pretty nice. Yeah, I'm gonna low light Teal for that. That was really nice. If Teal, well, maybe I'll keep her. I'll keep her highlight. I don't want to like accidentally low light the spy. I think that was a bug from Rocker. Was that a bug? Okay, well I know she has. Hmm. Um, maybe it wasn't a bug. I don't know. I think that was a bug. I have to shoot. Yeah, I panicked. I panicked there because I. Oh, it was a bug. Okay, yeah. This was a bug. Yeah. I didn't see his arm swing for that little duration he walked by the ambassador, so I got suspicious of it. But we ended up actually accomplishing missions, so did we do center inspects or we did a random swap? Okay. Yeah, so Spy ended up actually finishing missions that game. Well, I hated Rocker because she had triple inspects. I saw her at yellow bookcases, but I didn't watch her microfilm, so I easily like credited her for maybe some like other microfilm at some other point in the game, but I kind of I kind of just I just panicked there. I thought I missed something. I'm thinking. Yeah. I should have been more suspicious of this bug from Tex. And I also thought like maybe Rocker looked like she was also chasing Buns, and I thought like maybe she was just finishing up her last flirt. Definitely an aggressive shot, but I think like I had to credit something extra there because if that was a bug that I saw, which it wasn't, but if it was a bug, I had to like, make up ground, so to speak. So I don't know what else she could have. I credit her for an extra microfilm, and that would have gave her 5 missions, but yeah, probably like really hasty of a shot there. Yeah, just very hasty. I don't after like taking that shot, I definitely don't agree with it. So, but you live and you learn. So, but anyway, we have our final terrorist game here. We have Koopa versus Grash, and we have a nice standard sort of terrorist setup, and I like terrorist setups like this. So I think there was one setup that was like 14 guests, but I'll always take less guests. So, but okay, this is our last game. Hopefully we get 6-2, and that won't be too bad. I'm kind of sad that I missed these last 2 games because it's so funny because I literally had both of them as my suspicions in the game, and I didn't, follow up on them. I hated Seek's inspect timing. I didn't even have one of his prints, so that was just unfortunate there. And then I even thought that was a bug from Tex, but I kind of just discarded it. And sometimes the longer the game goes on, the more chance you have of a Civ shot. So just completely went bad. But okay, Cooper versus Grash. Here we go. We have BH and Hydra. So Mask Hydra. Okay, 250 for White Dress. There was one person that could have had a bug there. I think it was Rocker, so I'll highlight her. And goes next to Salmon. Okay, I like White Dress's path there. I'm just gonna late it. And Duke's path isn't the greatest. Okay, he sets down briefcase at the back conversation. Okay, Smallman and Duke will let down at 20, at 120. Watching Smallman's arm there.
Banana bread.
Very early BB, which is it Rocker? Maybe she got a really early bug. This early BB makes no sense. Like I said earlier, typically when people BB this early, they have another mission. But she was next to Salmon, so if she goes next to Salmon again, I'll have to shoot her. But that's 4 lowlights and no level 7 player is just gonna take that many. Is just gonna take that banana bread like that. Okay, I like Alice's path, so low light it. Smallman doesn't even have a real BB. Okay, and yeah, she's going to statue, so it still fits. She doesn't have any other inspects, and so it's not really that suspicious to me. But did she just? Who'd she swap for? Oh no, it was just Rocker. Okay, yeah, it was an early bug. Okay, that's what I thought. I missed the fade completely. It just really took me so off guard. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that's why. Oh wait, okay, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, so I have basically the same angle as Grash here. And then I looked over and I see the bee. I saw the bird statue and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I didn't remember anyone there before though, so I was like, that's so weird. But I had this early bug, and this is what I meant, like, but like intuition wise, I just feel like it just makes so much sense that like Rocker is the spy, because she was the only one I had credited for a early bug, and this BB is just so early. Like no spy is gonna take that many lowlights if they're not getting something for it. Maybe I mean maybe they will, but yeah. So I was probably just gonna. I probably didn't need to. I probably should have just been watching Rocker that entire time, and it was probably just an easy shot. But I don't know, it kind of caught me off guard. So, but those are all the games. Hopefully, you found them instructive, even though we lost the last three. I think that my thought process throughout the entire games allowed basically had the groundwork for me to find the spy. But I'm not really. The first five games went really well, and honestly, I don't even think these games went bad because I feel like in every single game I kind of like had a thought on who the spy was. But we'll take that. So 5-3, not like the greatest score, but I think there's still a lot of instructive value in these games. All right, but that's gonna end it for me. Thanks everyone for watching, and take care.